Real quick guys, if you guys wouldn't mind, please be sure to consider going down your item shop and typing in BEY for your supported creator code, BEY, and then clicking accept. This will support me greatly and it will not cost you anything, so please be sure to do this, and let's get right into the video. Hey, what's up guys? Before we get into this video, I just wanted to mention that I've started my brand new business where I am selling all kinds of gaming accessories such as control freaks that you guys are seeing in this video. I'm selling these control freaks for cheaper than what they are on the Control Freaks website, and the shipping is completely free. You guys can get these at a discount, the exact same quality, the exact same product, and many others on my website. So please be sure to go check it out. Link in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, without further ado, let's get right into this video. Also, one final thing guys, all the gameplay in this video was recorded live at twitch.tv/beyondfps. It was streamed there. I play tons of games every single day. I'm probably streaming when this video is live. If I'm not, be sure to go and drop a follow because I will be streaming very consistently, and I just hit 900 followers. So please be sure to go and join my Twitch fan base over there. So if you guys are watching this video, you are here because you want to learn how to WKey. Very recently, WKeying has become the dominant playstyle in the Fortnite competitive scene because of the format of the tournaments and events that you play in order to win money, making many pro players, many average players, and many decent players become forced to WKey and have to rely on their mechanics and their aim in order to win money and place. In the past, it has all been about making smart decisions, getting to the end game, and just in general being a more consistent player. However, nowadays, if you can drop a 30 bomb in one game, you are set for the rest of that tournament round. And that is ultimately what it has become. Hopefully a change will occur, but for now this is the meta, and this is how you guys need to get better at it. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 8 advanced tips to become better WKeyers, and let's get right into it. For the first tip, prioritize mythic level weapons. This doesn't necessarily mean land at the POIs because those tend to be very contested. But if you're a very mechanical player who can win early game fights no matter what the weapons are, and you're good at making those early game decisions, make sure to use this to your advantage by landing at places like Shark, like Agency, or Grotto in order to get these mythic weapons. These 3 mythic weapons are the most overpowered in the game, and if you have these during competitive events, your chances at placing very highly increases significantly, because with a weapon like the Scar, you not only have medium range, long range, and very powerful early range shots with the Scar, but you also have the Grappler, which will get you easy rotations whenever you need it, whether or not you have a launch pad. So landing Shark is a very good option. The second best is Agency, because that drum gun is probably the most overpowered spray weapon in the game. It has the ability to kill people with just 4 shots to the head, 50 damage each shot, so it's very overpowered as well. So POIs are the first tip. For the second tip, make sure that you are training your aim more than anything. Your aim is the most important aspect when it comes to WKeying. You can't WKey significantly well if you don't have good aim, because at the end of the day, you can build as well as you can and edit as the best editor in the world, but if you can't hit your shots and they're the ones hitting their shots when you're doing all the work opening, building, and editing, then you are the one that's going to be losing that fight in the end. For tip number 3, get better loadouts. Your loadout is insanely important for how well you play. Having a good loadout in the endgame versus having a bad one can make a significant difference. Now, what do I mean by loadout? I don't just mean having good guns, but I also mean having the right amount of weapons and consumable items. Because of the way the storms are, and because many players have become smarter and more skilled in general, having more players in the endgame is bound to happen, even though aggression and many WKeyers will be in your lobbies. Now, because these endgames will be stacked, you're going to need things like fish in order to survive and perform better. Having fish and having these healable items predominantly over weapons will help you significantly in the endgame, and it will help you make plays like Storm plays, where you take Storm in order to put yourself in better positions and getting angles on opponents. Using fish and using healable items will be very important, so make sure that you have a loadout of at least 2 to 3 healable items, and keep about 2 to 3 weapons always in your loadout. You want to have 1 shotgun and 1 medium to long range weapon, and if you decide to take a third, go ahead and take the SMG for a very powerful short distance weapon that will be a great pair for the shotgun. Moving on to tip number 4, make sure you're not overbuilding. Overbuilding is one of the biggest killers in Arena because the fact that you're going to run out of materials in the endgame when you're trying to survive. And in the early and mid game, if you end up overbuilding when in a fight, you will end up attracting a ton of attention. You will build up high and waste your materials, and you will get shot down and take fall damage, and you'll be putting yourself in very bad positions because the higher you build, the more angles you're giving more people around the map to shoot you. No matter how far people are, almost everyone in the game carries an AR with them, and this gives them the ability to shoot at people if they are far. So if you're putting yourself higher up, many more players will be able to see you, and many more players will be able to damage you. So make sure that you're playing more on the low ground and you're not just bringing yourself up on the high ground. Now for tip number 5, this goes hand in hand with overbuilding and not doing it. Make sure that you're box fighting more than you are build fighting. Box fighting is significantly important in these arena games because being able to box fight will give you the ability to not get into build fights every single game, and being able to box fight well will win you fights instead of putting you in difficult situations where you will have to end up building up and get high ground in order to perform well. In order to improve your box fights, be sure to play lots of creative box fights with friends. Play lots of box fights that are in the creative matchmaking, the ones that are put in by Immature Gamer inside of the matchmaking test on the backside of creative, and just overall work on your box fighting skills in general. For tip number 6, never jump into arena or competitive events without warming up and practicing your mechanics. Use a warm-up map to warm up your skills. Here is a warm-up map that I've created. This is my ultimate warm-up map for your building, your editing, and some of the most important skills that you'll need to do in arena matches where you're playing against really good opponents. These are things such as building, editing, your aiming, and also important building tricks like the Mongrel Classic and other things you'll need to be able to do, like double edits and specific edits that you'll be using in games. The map code is 0673-7558-7371. Enter this map code in your creative lobby and go ahead and load up this building and editing course every single day before you play in order to warm up and sharpen your skills. Moving on to tip number 7, make sure you watch lots of pro level arena gameplay and scrims gameplay. Moreover, watch scrims and watch competitive players play in events. These players will have many different secrets and tricks that they use in order to perform well. Watch the best ones and the ones that are most consistent at placing, and preferably watch someone that is on your selected platform. If you're playing on controller, watch a controller player like Unknown Army or Scoped. If you're a keyboard and mouse player, watch a player like Canada or another pro keyboard and mouse player who knows what they're doing. Watching this will show you guys the metas and the tricks that they use that works well for their platforms, and you'll also be able to see things like their decision making, their rotations, and other things that they do in order to be such good players. Watching pro players is probably one of the most underrated and one of the best things that you can do as a player to get better, so make sure that you do this. I also have lots of gameplay on my channel from arena, scrims, and events, so if you want to just watch some of my gameplay, you can go ahead and check it out in the little card that's on the top right now. For tip number 8, if you're a controller player, make sure that you have some important accessories such as control freaks, which are basically analog extenders, and things like controller grips. Getting sweaty hands or making mistakes such as that come with getting shaky in the endgame and dropping your controller because you're just not holding it very well because of the grips on it are bad. So you can go ahead and buy grips such as the ones I showed you guys in the beginning of my video in my store, or you can buy analog stick extenders, which will improve your aim and they will make a significant difference in your gameplay. Getting these accessories for controller can make a big difference, so don't sleep on them, and if you want to buy them, go ahead and go to my store and check out the products that I have there for improving your gameplay. These will help you a lot because they are very low, they're very high quality, they are low priced, and they are products that are proven to help gaming performance significantly. For tip number 9, make sure that you are pushing boxes very aggressively. When you are WKeying opponents in arena, you want to be the aggressor. You never want to be the defensive player that is staying back and not taking the fights to heart. You have to be the one that's jumping into their box. You have to be the one that's being more aggressive with their edits, and you have to be the one that is actively trying to put on damage. If you're not being the aggressor, you will be the one being aggressed and the one who's being attacked constantly and being pressured. So be the person pressuring, don't be the one getting pressured. Now for tip number 10 and the final tip in this video, make sure that you guys are actively watching tips and tricks videos and learning all of the new metas in Fortnite. My channel personally is always up to date with the newest tips and tricks, and I'm always updating it and adding new things for you guys to learn and new things that you have to learn in order to be good at Fortnite. Go ahead and subscribe and turn on noties, and maybe go ahead and check out my Fortnite tips and tricks playlist, where I have tons of tips and tricks that many of you guys probably haven't heard of before. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.